Good day, students. With the recent introduction of Sparkle's abilities in the 2.0 live stream, I believe we are going to finally have Bronya dethroned as the premier support unit for hypercarry teams. So sit down, open your notebooks, and sharpen your pencils, as today's class is hereby in session. Well, I wondered for quite some time about how they were going to make a Harmony unit more appealing than Bronya, and with the introduction of Ruin Mei, I thought that the direction they were going for was not a straight-up replacement with better numbers, but a better alternative for other team archetypes, while keeping the crown on Bronya's head in the hypercarry team. But, well, I was wrong, and they actually might have finally gone with the straight-up replacement option with the introduction of Sparkle. The only way in which Bronya will keep her crown is if the buff multipliers on Sparkle are abysmal, and I highly doubt this is going to happen. So, let's take a quick recap of the buffs Bronya is currently providing and what was introduced via the live stream for Sparkle. At face value, meaning out of the box at E0, Bronya is advancing forward the target of her skill by 100%, while also boosting his damage by 66% for one turn. Her ultimate boosts every ally's attack by 55% and increases their crit damage by 16% of Bronya's crit damage plus 20% for 2 turns. She also has a 10% permanent damage increase for everyone existing on the field, and she can provide a 15% attack for the first 2 turns for everyone through her technique and a 20% defense boost for the first 2 turns through another trace. This seems amazing, doesn't it? Well, if you look closely, you will see that a part of her buffs disappear after the first 2 turns, so in prolonged content like MOC or the simulated universe, these are not that valuable. The buffs provided by her ultimate are also suffering from uptime, especially if you do not have her light cone purchased from the shop or pulled from the banners, as she will struggle with the energy gain to have 3-turn rotation, meaning you are looking at a possible 50% uptime on the ultimate if you cannot maintain the 3-turn rotation. And before you say, but what about meshing cogs if you don't have her light cone? The issue is that for meshing cogs to provide you with energy, you need to either be attacked or get hit, and since you will want to use her skill every single turn to action advance and boost your damage dealer, the meshing cog's passive will only trigger when she gets hit by an enemy. This also brings her to another issue that is slightly alleviated through her light cone, which is skill point consumption. As you want to pretty much use her skill every turn, she is a skill point negative unit, and if you also bring a skill point negative damage dealer, you will be forced to bring 2 skill point positive units in order to bring the team to an overall neutral gain. Even with all the above-mentioned issues, Bronya is still the undisputed queen of hypercarry support, just for her ability to bring the damage dealer forward in the action order via her skill. No other Harmony unit is able to do this. Not until now, at least. And with that segue, let's now take a look at what Sparkle will bring at face value based on the information presented in the live stream. First of all, she will increase the maximum amount of skill points for your team from 5 to 7, which is already solving the skill point management issues for most hyper teams. Atop of that, through her ultimate, she will also recover 4 skill points for your team, which is a ludicrous amount to recover. Moving forward to her skill, which is essentially the same effect as Bronya's skill, in which Sparkle will action advance the target of her skill, and while we cannot say for sure the exact amount of action advance she is going to provide based on the footage, it is safe to assume that the lowest amount that she will provide is 50%. And if it's the same as Bronya's at 100%, then we truly have the first straight-up power creep of the game in every sense of the word. Furthermore, from the footage, we can see that every time each ally is using a skill, all allies are seen to receive a stacking buff, which, based on the icon presented, is a normal damage percentage buff. Again, if it is higher than the one provided by Bronya via her trace, it is a straight upgrade. And finally, We can also notice from the footage that Fu Xuan is receiving, apart from the action advance of Sparkle's skill, a critical damage buff. So to sum up, Sparkle will boost your skill point limit and restore skill points via her ultimate, has effectively what looks like a permanent team-wide damage increase buff, can action advance the target of her skill by a value as low as 50%, and also provides the respective target with a critical damage buff. All of Sparkle's kit is looking to be Bronya's kit on steroids. If by any chance her traces provide even more buffs, then for all intents and purposes, Bronya will be officially dethroned from the Queen of Harmony with the combined efforts of Ruin Mei and Sparkle. But with that being said, instead of a straight retirement out of the meta, I believe the two girls will join hands and become the go-to dual Harmony core for the hypercarry archetype. Just imagine a team where your damage dealers go not once, not twice, but 3 times in quick succession. Just some fun potential combos. You could effectively enter Jingliu's transmigration state in the same turn when she exists from it, or even more hilariously, you could do 3 fully enhanced Imbibitor basics, one after the other, or if you have an E1S1 Bronya, assuming my calculations are correct, and you line up everything perfectly, even 4 fully enhanced basic attacks, at which point I doubt whoever was the unlucky recipient of said attacks will still be alive to tell the tale. But these are my thoughts. What are yours? Do you think Bronya's time to retire is finally coming? Let me know down in the comments below. And until next time, I am Professor Veritas Ratio, and remember, stay smart and sexy.